Well, welcome to the Be Seen, Be Loved show. My name is Christie Love, and today we're going to talk about how to really position yourself as an expert and ignite your business. If that is what you want, you have come to the right place. But first, a little speaker wisdom. Now, you may have heard that you should always show up. People are like, oh, just show up. Just show up and do your best. Just show up and keep showing up, right? But what does that really mean? When I think of showing up, and I'm telling you exactly some of the things that I have done to really show up as my best at all times, and so that I'm seen as professional in front of meeting and event planners, is that I'm a product of my product. I do not ask my audience to do anything that I would not do myself. So that involves, how can I be the best on that stage for that audience? Things like my energy level. I need the energy level to be able to move across the stage, engage an audience, to sustain maybe speaking for an hour or even 8 hours. I need the energy to do that. So some things that I do are vitally important to allow me to be able to sustain the level of energy that I need to do in a very natural way. Okay, because one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to burn and crash in this business, because you can certainly do that. You want to stay healthy and you really showcase and be your best. So you want to look vibrant and fresh and open, and being able to do this. So my nutrition is 100%. My exercise and things I do within my personal development and mental state, I work on that every day, as well as practicing my craft. Because when someone calls me, I want to be prepared. I don't want to think, oh, I gotta lose 10 pounds. Oh, I gotta do what I need to do now. I only have 2 weeks to get my health together. No, my health is always top notch. My energy level is always top notch. I'm always practicing my craft, so I don't feel like I'm starting over at any time, because I'm always talking about what I do. I'm always serving on a greater level by getting in front of audiences every single week. It could be my own platform or someone else's platform. But if you see me, I'm always doing something. I'm always in front of people talking about what I do, so that when an event planner does call me, I'm ready. I'm ready. Now, I have seen people get on stage, right? Get on stage. And I actually saw a gentleman just like pretty much hang on a stage like this and talk to the audience because he couldn't hold his body up. Clearly, he was not in the best shape. Clearly, he did not take measures to try to be in the best shape. And, each his own. Okay, I'm not here to, degrade anyone. I'm just here to letting you know what I do and some of the things that I expect in my clients to show up as their best, because you want people to come back. When you are able to present a dynamic presentation that really motivates audiences, captivates audiences, really moves an audience into wanting to do more, to do better in whatever that area is, you're going to be called back. But if you're being seen as someone who, has no energy, has no drive, has no motivation, and not practice, and that's one of my other big pet peeves, is people who don't practice. There's one guy who was in a speaking organization of mine. He just brag about not practicing. Oh, I don't need to practice. I don't need to practice. Well, he spoke in front of an audience once, and I could tell that he did not practice. You could totally tell that he did not practice. That day, I think he was, stressed. Some other things were coming on, like really weighing heavy on him. And it really showed in his performance. He just got off, he's like, oh, I'm not doing best today. Today's not the greatest day, and just walked off the stage. And you don't have to do that. You want to always be prepared, always show up. And practicing is going to allow you to do that. Doing whatever you need to do to get your nutrition, your supplementation, your exercise right, to always have the energy to dynamically transform an entire room of people is what you need to do in order to really be perceived as someone who's professional, someone who's an expert, and someone who is called back again and again and again to speak on more platforms. That's what you want as a speaker. So that's also is going to establish you as an expert. It's when you're speaking on more and more platforms. But there's other things that really help you to separate yourself from the amateurs, the new people in the industry, from someone who is really seen as a seasoned pro. And one of those things is your title and tagline. Speakers immediately know that you're an amateur if you don't have a title and tagline. We're going to go into that a little bit more in detail. If you did not, like we just talked about, hone in on your public speaking skills, if you just think you're a person who can wing it, it's not going to work. It's going to come out sooner or later that you're not prepared. I went to another event not too long ago, and the speaker was, it was promoted everywhere. People were talking about this event. We really wanted to hear about this presentation from this particular speaker. When I got there, for one, she was super late. You should never be late. If anything, you should be the first one there. Two, she forgot she said her zip drive. She thought it was in her car. It was at home. Her home was too far to go get. I mean, it was just unprofessional. She was not prepared. One little tip that I do, especially if I have a PowerPoint presentation, is I also email myself. I always email myself the presentation and any other tools, videos. I send that to my personal email as a backup in case the zip drive doesn't work or something doesn't work. I get there early. I test my presentation on the computer hopefully before people come, maybe the day before. So I'm not fidgeting. I'm not trying to figure things out in front of an audience. I want to give them my all from the moment that I step in front of that group. And so I want to be prepared. I want them to get every second of my presentation. I do not want to feel as if I am just learning something. No, professional people don't do that. So we're going to talk about honing in your public speaking skills and also the importance of consistently engaging your target market. So let's deep dive into this. Your title and tagline, remember I just talked about that really separates you from amateurs and also seasoned pros. But what it also does is it is the first impression. It's your first impression. You want to get a few seconds to establish a first impression, and it also introduces you. This is what they're going to introduce you as when you speak on stage. So what is your title? What are your tagline? I'm going to give you some examples, and hopefully you can work to create your own that's going to fit within your area of expertise. Tony Robbins, he's known as the nation's top life and business strategist. John Maxwell is known as the #1 leadership expert. Okay, so of course his title is leadership expert. Walina Faison Long, she was a guest on my show. She's known as the executive leadership ninja. Love that. One of my clients, Sherrod Adet, he is known as the leadership locksmith. Love that as well. Another client of mine, Joffrey Fullerton, is Chief Inspirational Officer. So he inspires, he transforms. Love it. And so that's your title, right? For me, I'm the communication and connection expert, or the authority in communication. So think about, what do you want to be named for? So if someone needs leadership professional, they're going to immediately go to people who have the title that says leadership. Someone wants to learn more about the area of communication, whether that's public speaking skills or being a better leader, communicating with your teams, communicating with the company, communicating with your investors or stakeholders. I'm the go-to person for that. But I'm known as a communication and connection expert. The next is your tagline. You should have a tagline. Again, amateurs do not have this. They don't know what their tagline is. What do you want to be known for? How do you help their audience within your realm of expertise? I'm going to give you a couple of these. This one here is for my sales professionals, right? How to communicate better in sales. I help leaders to establish stronger relationships internally and externally that drive growth, sales, and referrals. That's what company you want. You want to think with the end in mind. What do companies want? What are they hiring a speaker for, right? To help their people in this area to drive growth, okay? So get more in revenue, to increase their sales, right? To be able to be motivated to do that. And also to gain more referrals, to get those repeat buyers. That's what companies want. So think about what your end user wants, and then brainstorm different ideas on how you position that within your tagline. Let me give you another one. I help professionals to create their blueprint for peak performance, identifying gaps to reduce overwhelming priorities, increase their bottom line, and elevate employee engagement. Great. Another one is I help leaders slay their dragons so they can lead with confidence and precision to increase productivity, improve morale, and build a better future for their employees. Okay, now these people here, as you see, target companies, corporations, and you really want to be able to do that because that's a sustainable and consistent payment that you can get from companies as a trainer and as a speaker. Next is honing in on your public speaking skills. Now, you have only a few moments in front of that audience to really make an impact. And you can do that by learning and mastering the art of public speaking. What I mean by that is using your vocal inflection. You see my vocal inflections all over the place, but I have a lot of energy and drive. I show that I'm very passionate about what I'm talking about. My body movements, my hand gestures, all of those coordinate with the things that I'm saying. How I move in front of an audience, or how I use my eye contact, whether that's looking at a large group of people or this little green dot. All of those things are vitally important and should be practiced on a consistent basis so you find your groove. Do you find your groove, how you move and how you work a room? You're not worried about those things when you're in front of an audience. You naturally do that. You naturally engage. You actually move. You actually motivate by naturally using your power, your public speaking strategies and skills. And lastly, consistently engaging with your target market. To consistently engage with your target market involves getting yourself out there, making yourself visible, talking about what you do on a consistent basis. You should be posting videos at least 3 times a week on every platform, talking about what you do, your level of expertise, written, videos are best, YouTube, TV shows, podcasts, interviewing. Always get yourself out there. The idea is to be so visible that no one can think about anyone else when they're looking for what you do. You can only do that if you are consistently putting yourself out there, consistently creating videos, consistently talking about what you do, consistently getting in front of more audiences on a consistent basis. But it takes dedication. It takes wanting to serve on a big scale. It takes knowing your why. What makes you get up every single morning to practice? What is going to make you to pitch these companies? What's going to make you stay dedicated to the process month after month after month after month? What's it going to take to make you prepare and get ready every day? I don't know if you're a lady, hair, makeup, clothes. Make the effort to get ready, to show up every single day, telling people about what you're passionate about, what you do. What's it going to take to talk about what we spoke about in the speaker wisdom? To do the things necessary to make sure that your health is in top condition. Make sure that your energy level is to its highest capacity. To make sure that you are doing the work, to be seen as a dynamic speaker, to give your all so that you are called back. There's certain etiquette that goes along with that. Make sure that you are called back again and again and again. You're very easy to work with. But what's it going to take for you to do those things that other people are not doing? And when everyone falls off, that you remain standing. That takes consistency and that takes drive. So think about those things. All of them are very, very, very important. So I'm going to give you some resources that you can start learning and just gaining more knowledge and wisdom in this area called public speaking, because it can really transform your lives if done effectively. There's one book called Talk Like TED. Love that book. It was great. Gave me lots of tips and strategies on how to be a better performer on stage. Set Your Voice Free by Roger Love is the first book that I purchased around public speaking, but pretty much it helped me to gain the vocal muscles that I needed to really use my voice in a way that really moves and captivates an audience. But I practiced that every single day, and I still practice these techniques 20 years later. And so use that. YouTube, there's lots of TED Talks you can watch on YouTube to see what other speakers are doing, what they're talking about, maybe gain a little insight and ideas on how you can incorporate their techniques with yours, mix and match all over the place. And if you really need a little help to really boost yourself outside of your comfort zone and become a better speaker who is seen, who's gained more visibility, and who is influential in your area of expertise, then look for my book. It's on Amazon, called From Stage Fright to Superstar. That will give you a lot of insights on my story, my journey of how I came from someone who was terrified to speak in public to someone who absolutely loved it and created a sustainable business around it. And so do your research, do your practice, because just understand that you owe it to that audience to give your absolute best, because you have something that can hopefully transform their lives. And they can only do it. You put all these things together and you get on more stages in front of more people. So you have more opportunity to help the masses from all over the world. And so I invite you to contact me if you need help in this area, because there's so much to this public speaking thing. And you can find me on my website at beseenbeloved.com. I also have a program called Speak to Riches. You can go to www.speaktoriches.com. This program is backed by my over 20 years experience in the public speaking industry. It will give you everything that you need to really transform yourself from an amateur to a seasoned professional that is now ready to go out there, get business, expand your network, and get on more stages and really create a lucrative and sustainable business using the power of public speaking and mastering everything we just talked about and so much more. So I invite you to join. Right now it's at a very, very low price to really help you to get started in this industry and give you everything that you need, all the tools that you need and the guidance. And so I would love to help you with that. With that ends today's episode, but I look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same place on the Be Seen Beloved show. Bye for now.
Are you a professional struggling to speak confidently in front of others? Do you have trouble giving presentations or leading teams? Are you finding it difficult to sell to clients? At Be Seen Beloved, we understand the challenges you face. That's why we're here to help. With our expert guidance and training, you'll gain the confidence you need to excel in your business and career. Whether you're looking to lead groups, speak to larger audiences, or train people in your corporation, we can help. Our unique approach will not only improve your business connections and increase your income, but it will also lead to a happier and more fulfilled life. So why wait? Take the first step towards success and visit us at www.beseenbeloved.com today.